Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. What happens when a secret criminal operation hiding inside a hospital collides with the lives of people across the entire city? Because tonight, one quiet pickup job might expose a conspiracy far bigger than anyone imagined. The night begins like any other in the city, with friends laughing in clubs, couples celebrating anniversaries, and families dealing with their own personal battles. But beneath the surface, something far more dangerous is unfolding. Jacob takes a huge risk as he dives deeper into the mysterious plasma ring, a criminal organization infiltrating trusted institutions. In meanwhile, relationships are tested, rivalries flare up, and lives begin shifting in ways no one could predict. The story begins late at night behind Orpheus Jeans, a lively club packed with music, laughter, and crowded conversations inside the club. The atmosphere is warm and energetic, the kind of place where people gather to forget their problems for a few hours. But just outside, the night air feels completely different. It's colder, quieter, and carries a strange tension that doesn't match the excitement inside. Sitting at the bar is Naomi. She's physically there with everyone else, but mentally she is somewhere else entirely. Smitty is sitting nearby telling a long story about an old college friend, something that would normally make Naomi laugh or at least keep her engaged. Tonight, though she's barely listening, her thoughts keep drifting back to her husband, Jacob. Lately, something about his behavior has been bothering her deeply. The changes have been subtle at first, but now they're impossible to ignore. Jacob has become distant, distracted, and strangely secretive. He keeps stepping away to answer phone calls he won't explain. When Naomi asks about them, he brushes the questions aside, and that silence between them is starting to feel heavy. Naomi loves Jacob more than anything. Their bond has always been strong, built on trust and loyalty, but recently it feels like invisible walls have appeared between them. She glances down at her phone again, hoping maybe he sent a message. But the screen stays dark. Across the room, people burst into laughter at something someone said. But to Naomi, the sound feels hollow. She forces herself to smile politely, though the worry in her chest refuses to go away. Meanwhile, far across the city, Jacob stands alone inside a dim garage. The place is quiet except for the faint echo of distant traffic and the low hum of fluorescent lights overhead. He leans casually against his car, holding a burner phone to his ear. His voice is calm, controlled, but underneath it there's a subtle edge of anticipation. I'm ready for more responsibility, Jacob tells the person on the other end of the line. The man he's speaking to is Ren. Those few words hang in the air like both a promise and a risk. For months now, Jacob has been walking a dangerous path. He's been working undercover, carefully navigating the thin line between law enforcement and organized crime. Every step has brought him deeper into the world of the mysterious criminal group known as the Plasma Ring. And tonight, that line between his two lives is about to blur even further. On the other end of the phone, Rand responds with a low, amused chuckle. He sounds almost pleased by Jacob's eagerness. If that's what you want, Rand says, then you will get it. Then he gives Jacob his next assignment. The next job is bigger than anything Jacob has handled before. Ren explains that Jacob needs to make a pickup at Garland Memorial Hospital. The cargo waiting for him there is plasma, sealed medical containers meant for legitimate hospital use. Except the particular transfer is anything but legal. The operation hints at something far more disturbing. The plasma ring isn't just dealing with shady transactions in dark alleys anymore. It appears they have found a way to infiltrate one of the city's most respected institutions, Garland Memorial Hospital. As Jacob listens carefully to every detail, his pulse begins to quicken. This might be the breakthrough he's been waiting for. If he plays his cards right, this job could bring him close enough to expose the entire organization. There is also another possibility. If anything goes wrong, he could lose everything or even his life. After the call ends, Jacob exhales slowly and stares into the darkness of the garage. He knows he can't handle this alone. Without wasting another second, he calls someone he trusts completely, Smitty. Back at Orphe Jean's, Smitty's phone suddenly buzzes on the bar counter. He glances down at the screen and instantly stiffens. It's Jacob. He mutters. Naomi's heart jumps the moment she hears the name. Smitty steps away from the bar to answer the call. He listens carefully for a few moments before giving a short response. All right, he says quietly. The alley behind the club, 10 minutes. Outside the alley, behind Orphe Jeans smells like rain-soaked asphalt and old dumpsters. It's the kind of place people usually avoid unless they have a reason to be there. Smitty waits in the shadows until Jacob finally appears. The moment Smitty sees his friend's face, he knows something serious is happening. Jacob looks like a man standing at the edge of a cliff. What's going on? Smitty asks. Jacob quickly explains everything rent's instructions, the hospital pickup, and the possibility that this job could expose the plasma ring's connection to Garland Memorial. Smitty listens carefully. The more Jacob talks, the more concern appears in his eyes. You're getting deeper into this than we planned, he warns. Jacob shrugs slightly, though the tension in his shoulders reveals how serious this situation really is. That's the only way to bring them down, he replies. They continue talking longer than necessary. Part of it is strategy, but part of it is something else too. Jacob is buying time. The longer he waits before heading to the hospital, the more he can mentally prepare for what might happen. Eventually, he straightens his jacket and nods. It's time, he says. Smitty grabs his arm briefly before letting him go. Be careful. Jacob gives a small half smile before disappearing down the street. A short time later, he enters Garland Memorial Hospital through a quiet side door. Inside, the atmosphere is calm and sterile. Fluorescent lights glow softly over long hallways. Nurses move quickly between rooms, focused on their work, completely unaware that something illegal might be unfolding right beneath their noses. Jacob follows Ren's instructions step by step. At the far end of the corridor, he finds the elevator Ren described. The metal doors reflect the pale hospital lights as he presses the button. When the elevator arrives, Jacob steps inside. For a moment, he stands alone in the small space, surrounded by the faint scent of disinfectant. Then the elevator begins descending, not to the public floors, but deeper. When the doors finally open again, Jacob sees a cart waiting nearby. Several sealed containers of plasma sit inside, packed carefully in ice. But there is no one else there. Jacob approaches cautiously, scanning the hallway. Then he hears footsteps. At first, he assumes it's just a hospital employee, someone being paid quietly to look the other way. But when the figure stops into the light, Jacob's breath catches. It's Grayson, the calm, dependable man connected to Garland Memorial Hospital. For a moment, the world seems to freeze as both men realize the situation they're standing in. Grayson studies Jacob with a steady, unreadable expression. So, he says calmly, "With the pickup." Jacob slowly nods, hiding his shock. Looks like it. Inside his mind, everything begins falling into place. The plasma ring isn't just stealing supplies from hospitals. They have placed people inside them, and Grayson is one of those people. While this dangerous confrontation unfolds in the hospital basement, life continues across the city. At a glamour club, Bill and Hayley are celebrating their first wedding anniversary. The evening starts out romantic, filled with candlelight, soft music, and champagne. But the mood shifts dramatically when Danny arrives. She approaches their table with a dazzling smile and a small gift package. "A little present," she says sweetly. Hayley looks uncertain as Danny places the gift on the table and opens her purse. From it, she pulls out a pack of tissues paper for the first anniversary. Danny jokes, "The jab is impossible to miss." Bill forces a polite laugh, but Hayley's embarrassment is obvious. Later, trying to lighten the mood, Bill hands Hayley something else made of paper, cash. "Let's go somewhere fun," he suggests. That's how they end up at Joe's casino, surrounded by bright neon lights and the thrill of gambling. Elsewhere, another emotional battle is taking place. Inside a hospital room, Anita prepares for chemotherapy. The powerful drug known as the Red Devil hangs in a crimson bag connected to an 4-line. Doctors have warned her about the brutal side effects, but Anita is determined. As the medication begins flowing into her body, she clenches her fists and focuses on breathing. Dr. Monica McCormick stands beside her, offering quiet encouragement. "You have help more people than you know, Monica tells her gently. Anita manages a faint smile. She isn't ready to give up. Across town, a different kind of tension unfolds at the country club where Ted, Isaiah, Carlton, Kyle, and Andre play a pickup based basketball game. What begins as friendly competition quickly becomes heated when Carlton and Kyle argue over a foul. Their rivalry simmers just beneath the surface as the game continues. Later, Ted approaches Isaiah with a firm handshake, clearly evaluating him as someone who might become part of his family. Meanwhile, Eva seeks advice from Thomas about how to deal with the complicated dynamic between her father and Isaiah. The next day brings even more developments. Kyle calls Vanessa to confirm he wants to buy a property she showed him. Nicole overhears the conversation and asks a heartfelt question. Are you staying here because you want to or because of me? Kyle thinks carefully before answering honestly. Maybe both. And while all these personal stories unfold across the city, the biggest secret of all remains hidden deep inside Garland Memorial Hospital. Jacob and Grayson now stand face to face beside a cart of stolen plasma, the center of a conspiracy that could change everything. What makes this storyline so powerful is how it connects multiple lives through one hidden conspiracy. The Plasma Ring isn't just another criminal group, it's an organization quietly infiltrating trusted institutions like hospitals. Jacob's undercover work puts him directly in danger, and the discovery that Grayson is involved suggests the corruption runs deeper than anyone expected. At the same time, the story explores personal struggles across the city, showing how every character is fighting their own battle while something far more dangerous unfolds beneath the surface. Honestly, this kind of storytelling is what keeps you a series gripping. The writers are blending suspense, emotional drama, and multiple character arcs in a way that makes every storyline feel connected. Jacob's mission is especially compelling because the stakes are incredibly high. He's risking his life to expose something bigger than himself, and the moment he discovers Grayson's involvement is a massive turning point. It raises so many questions about who else might be part of the plasma ring. So now the big mystery remains. How deep does this conspiracy really go? Can Jacob keep his cover long enough to bring down the plasma ring? Or will this dangerous mission expose him before he's ready? And what about Grayson? Is he just a small part of the operation, or is he one of the key players behind it all? I want to hear your theories. What do you think is really running the plasma ring? And do you think Jacob will survive long enough to expose the truth? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode breakdown.